Good afternoon, AP Lang. I am creating this video in lieu of uploading the Google Meet recording from this morning because I felt like it was perhaps a little messy, and I think I could get the information to you a little more efficiently than having you watch the whole Google Meet, okay? So I am going to talk about what we did in class this morning, and I am going to share my screen with you so that you can follow along with me, okay? All right, so I am in the Google Classroom page. I am in period one's Google Classroom page, but everybody's Google Classroom page should look the same. It might just be a different color, okay? Um, for today, what we did was work with a rhetorical analysis essay outline. On Thursday, April the 23rd, we are going to be writing a timed writing. And this timed writing can be over any of the passages that we have covered so far through distance learning. So that could be Benjamin Banneker, Abraham Lincoln. It could also be Abigail Adams. It is entirely up to you which of those you do. And it may just be which graphic organizer have you done most recently, and you will want to work with that, okay? All right, so you'll see the essay outline is right here, okay? It is uploaded as a Word document. Now, if you would like to take this and type into this directly, what you're going to need to do is hit the little three dots over here. You hit open in a new window. And then you'll see up here it says open with Google Docs. And then once it is opened with Google Docs, if I go into File and I go into Save as Google Docs, it will create this as a Google Doc, and now you can type into it, okay? So this should look familiar to you. We used this when we did the Ho Chi Minh essay at the end of last semester, okay? So I'm just going to run you through the basics of it really quickly to refresh your memory. Okay, so this first section is just setting ourselves up with some of the basic information about the passage, as well as drawing out both our command and conquer questions. Okay, sorry, my dog wants my attention. And then we are answering that conquer question, okay? Because having these things is going to help with our analysis, okay? So first we start with the tag, the title, the author, and the genre, okay? So depending on what passage you are working with, you may or may not have a ready given title. So for the Abraham Lincoln one's the only one that really has a title, okay? That's his second inaugural address, okay? Now for the others, for Benjamin Banneker and Abigail Adams, those don't really have titles, but we do know the author, who they're by, Benjamin Banneker or Abigail Adams. We know that they're letters, okay? And then we also know who those letters are to. That's what information do we know about the audience. And then so all we're going to do for our title is call it author, genre, audience, okay? So Benjamin Banneker's letter to Thomas Jefferson, or Abigail Adams' letter to her son, okay? So the exigence is, what do we know about the speaker? Most of that will come from the introductory paragraph before the actual passage, whether it's a letter or a speech, okay? So what do we know about Benjamin Banneker? What do we know about Abraham Lincoln? What do we know about Abigail Adams? Really just based on what the prompt gives us, okay? And then the audience. What do we know about that audience? Okay, what do we know about Thomas Jefferson? What do we know about the people who were listening to Abraham Lincoln? What could we say about, what do we know about Abigail Adams' son. Like, what was he doing? Okay. And then information about the passage, like what's the overall point of it? Why are they giving this, letter or speech? Okay. Why is Benjamin Banneker writing to Thomas Jefferson? Abraham Lincoln, obviously, like, he's been elected president again. Okay. Also, like, what's he trying to do with his speech? Okay. Um, Abigail Adams, like, you might think about, her son was traveling abroad, and that's why she's writing the letter. Okay. Your command question is whatever your analyze command is in that introductory paragraph. Okay. And I'm just using the Abigail Adams one as an example, but it tells me to analyze the rhetorical strategies Adams uses to advise her son. Okay. So my command, the thing I'm supposed to do in the essay, is analyze the rhetorical strategies or analyze the rhetorical choices. All of the passages basically have some sort of phrasing like that. Analyze how Banneker uses rhetorical strategies. Analyze the rhetorical strategies President Lincoln used. Okay, those sorts of things, right? Your conquer question. So your conquer question is about the purpose of the passage, okay? And that is, what do I not know yet until I read the passage, okay? And we can always find this, like, what is our conquer question, if we look just a little bit past that, analyze how Banneker uses rhetorical strategies, or the analyze the rhetorical strategies bit, okay? So, for example, in Banneker, it says to argue against slavery. So our conquer question is, what does Banneker argue? What is Banneker's argument against slavery? Okay. Abraham Lincoln. It uses to achieve his purpose. What is his purpose for that passage? What is he trying to achieve? Okay. And you don't know that until you've read the passage. And it's the same thing with the Abigail Adams one. And we talked very explicitly about purpose in that class. How does Adams advise her son? Okay, we don't know what advice she's giving him until we read the passage. Okay, so you have your command. You're going to analyze rhetorical strategies to do a thing, to answer this question. Okay, to understand how she advises her son and what is she advising her son of. Okay. All right, then you have to pull out that textual evidence, and you should have a lot of it already because you have your graphic organizers done. Okay, now I want to draw your attention, you should have 2 quotes per section. Okay, and this is evidence that shows you the answer to the conquer question. So you have already answered this conquer question, and now whatever evidence you're picking out from the beginning, the middle, or the end, is helping to directly answer that question. Okay? Now, the only one this will be different on is the Banneker one, because we didn't split it up into beginning, middle, end. We have a first half and a second half. Okay? All right. And I want to go ahead and caution you here because I was looking at graphic organizers earlier today, and I noticed really, really long quotes, okay? And that was fine on the graphic organizers, but we want to remember that we're not here to write the essay, the passage back to the reader. We're here to analyze that essay. So we only want to use the most important parts of a quote, all right? So you'll want to be picking out those words and phrases to put into your own sentences. This is, I challenge you not to use phrases more than 4 or 5 words in a phrase, okay, for a quote. Because this is really about you doing the work of analyzing, of explaining to me how this thing is working. Okay, so you have 2 for beginning, middle, and end, unless you're in the Banneker, and then you have first half and second half. And then this one, this is our rhetorical strategy. What is the speaker doing? And I ask you here to refer to the rhetorical verbs handout, okay, which I did post for you all. It's right here. So you can use this if it helps you. I will caution you, like, your verb needs to make sense, okay? But don't just pick a random one. It actually needs to make sense with whatever they're doing, okay? And maybe you don't like any of these, okay? For example, I was working on my graphic organizer during class today, and my verbs, my rhetorical verbs that I used were chastise, lecture, and remind, okay? So they don't have to be this. This just gives you something to work with if you are, if you're feeling a little lost, okay? Because we don't just want to say she uses this or that, okay? Or he, okay? Each speaker is doing a very particular thing in the beginning, middle, and end to achieve whatever that conquer question was, to advise the sun, or to achieve whatever Lincoln's purpose is, or to argue against slavery, whatever that argument is, all right? So that's there to help you, but I want you to try to use some exciting, strong verbs, okay? No mad, bad, sad words here, right? Okay. And so that's basically where we left off today. What I was doing at class was a work session in which I was asking people to, give me their answers to the conquer question, to show me their evidence, to show me their rhetorical strategies, that sort of thing. Okay, so, sorry, I'm trying to I lost my train of thought. So what I would like you to do is if you are planning to be in the Google Meet with us on Thursday, you want to try to get this to me so that I can see it before you write your essay on Thursday, okay? Or, if you want my feedback, okay? If you just want to do it and get it done with so you can show up on Thursday and write an essay, that's fine with me, okay? As I mentioned in the update about expectations and assignments that I posted earlier, this thing is not your grade for this week. The timed writing essay is, okay? This thing is to help you be successful on that essay, all right? And to give you practice thinking about this beforehand, okay? Now, if you just don't have time to get to this, or whatever, you still have to give me your essay, okay? And I guess I can come back to full screen here. So that's what we did in class today, and you can send me pictures of what you are writing, of your answer to the conquer question, of your textual evidence, of whatever it is, and I will respond back to you as soon as I see that message, okay? And even if you can't make the Google Meet on Thursday, that's fine. I still want you to watch that recording, even though it will basically be 45 minutes of silence of my pretty face, basically. But I will give you time updates and that sort of thing like I would if we were in class, okay? And I just want to reiterate, like I did in my update email video, that this essay, this timed writing essay, is technically going to be due on Tuesday, next Tuesday at 10 a.m., okay? And of course, if you come to the Google Meet on Thursday, you will have it done and you can just send me your essay at the end of that, okay? If you are watching this on your own time, your due date is Tuesday at 10 a.m., okay? Now, These are not hard due dates. I'm not counting anything late, but it is important that you are keeping up with us, okay, in some form or fashion. If you are a little behind, that's okay, but this is a thing that you are going to have to get to, and I don't want you to wait until the end of school, the 6 weeks, the semester, the whatever, to do this, because then you're going to be really far behind and you're going to be overwhelmed and stressed out, maybe even more than you are now, okay? Um, so if you have questions for me, please let me know. If anything didn't make sense about this thing, please let me know, okay? Um, I want to help you. I want to support you. Um, I want to give you feedback. So, but you know where to reach me. I am just an email or a text message away. And it makes me happy to hear from you whenever that is, okay? That is all I have to say. And I'm clocking in at 16 minutes, which is much better, I think, than having you sit through the 15-minute or the 45-minute thing that we did today, okay? All right, guys. I hope to hear from you soon or see you soon in class.